This week on Hermitcraft.
You are insane and not normal.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is SloyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And by the time you're hearing this, you've probably finished watching the 2 days of charity mayhem that the Hermitcraft server and various friends have been putting on in support of Gamers Outreach. If by some miracle this video comes out during the event and you found it while you could be watching and supporting Gamers for Giving, we'd like to introduce you to a YouTube feature called the Watch Later playlist. Especially since our very own Pixelriffs, that's me, the voice you're hearing for those of you who don't know what the deal is with this channel, is, or by this point has been, participating in the MCC Hermitcraft Takeover. And did we just call me a has-been? Anyway, you get the point. Support charity, give generously, and once you've done that, come back here and take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week.
You gotta sing the whole thing.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go!
Starting with Pearlescent Moon, who prepares to kick a giant and increasingly accessorized snowman out of her base by first moving someone a little smaller.
Timing is out. Dude, my ping is not gonna make this a good time. I need to do it on like your 2 or something.
At least Tango Tech can be moved using fishing rods, nether portals, and flying machines, instead of having to disassemble him into a vast number of shulker boxes. Buttons the Snowman has a lot more body mass, but it turns out he fits perfectly around the structure of Joel Smallish Beans' lighthouse.
Thanks, Buttons. Alright, well mate, thank you so much for visiting my base. I hope you enjoy your new stay.
Significant enough light levels melt snow in Minecraft, so let's see if the high-intensity lighthouse beam is enough to decapitate Buttons. In the meantime, Pearl headhunts new firefighters in the form of Mumbo Jumbo and gets some graphic design support from Cubfan in the form of a custom fire tower banner.
That's the fire tower on a banner.
Oh, that's cool.
We also get Pearl's perspective as she crosses the finish line of the Nautilus Racing League's championship race in first place, or as they now call it, Pearl Position. Last of all, she makes sure her nether portal tunnel is decorated, mostly so that it doesn't get boarded up by signs during the Gamers Outreach event. Corrales makes his extra sign-proof by putting 2 husks holding spears in there.
Just up here. Stop it! You know what? This is, I've wasted so much time.
Luckily, these aren't the most accurate of the zombie kind, as they utterly fail to swing at him while he's sitting in the same boat with them. Still, he may have added too much reach to the Gamers Outreach.
Like, you can't be standing with a shovel and thinking that is the better choice.
To match his Roman style of building for the season, Corrales builds his nether portal as the entry into a blossoming Parthenon, which is quite the contrast to where the portal actually takes you. The overworld side is just in the middle of an empty field overlooking the lush base. And it's shocking that there's any such place that still exists on the server. Gemini Taze, by contrast, can't shake a stick without hitting one of her overly ambitious neighbours, who keep stealing her netherwort.
I find it really funny that almost every new time I get on, this netherwort field is harvested. Somebody is benefiting from my netherwort field very much. I have no idea who, but you're welcome, Hermit.
Fair enough, Gem herself is overly ambitious as she mounts a rosette over the side wall of her Crimson Cathedral and overall ties the interiors of the finished parts together despite there being massive holes in the roof. The books can't get wet if Firetick is on.
Yeah, I might be doing too much. Okay, there's a chance that if I sit here with this long enough, I will end up just doing like way too much texturing.
Which is good news for Rendog, who built his library by a river. Although perhaps he's protected by the magic of coming fourth in the final standings of the Nautilus race. Not quite a podium position, but enough to earn it a shrine within the city of Trillium, and a spot in this video which mostly concerns itself with where he keeps his netherwort. It's behind one corner of his enormous auto potion lab, which is now brewing all kinds of potent potables after a marathon attempt to stock up on the various ingredients. Luckily for him, someone else already built a Froglight farm, and magma cream is a helpful byproduct.
Me, and it also means that I don't have to build one of these things for myself. Fire resistance for life from our potion shop.
One can't simply conjure these ingredients out of thin air, but Rendog conjures some from dense ore with the help of his magic wand, which, you guessed it, is a Hoffen creation imbued with a great deal of detail, and also Fortune 3.
Fortune 3, Efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, and Mending. This was my original Fortune 3 pickaxe, in case you haven't worked it out yet.
While Ren time-lapses a surface build for the Potions Lab, he brings up the fact that his MCC squad is yet another outing for the Season 11 C team of himself, Skizzleman, Mumbo, and introducing its newest member, Vintage Beef. Fortunately for the four of them, Skiz has built an obstacle course to allow them to train physically and spiritually for the event, although Skiz is the only one whose spirit we see attempt the course.
Ooh, ropes course. Yeah. I got this. Look at that. Look at that rope. And up.
For his part, Skiz has only done a couple of MCCs before, and Mumbo and Beef have never been drafted for one, so Rendog is the carry. And that shows as the four of them scramble to complete the course, ending in an inevitable King of the Ladder segment, which only Mumbo survives.
You know what I really love is the maniacal Mumbo, where all the punching and smacking's going on, and he's just got the Joker laugh the whole time.
They're just lucky he didn't put a Warden at the end, unlike Skiz's shadowy Persona exhibit, which gets even darker thanks to some assistance from experienced Warden Wrangler Tango Tech.
It's 4 strikes, right?
Skiz?
Yeah.
Stop.
Skiz repays this help by stealing moss from Tango's moss farm, once he's fixed it, and rewriting the giant billboard to be the first line of a knock-knock joke. The moss is for landscaping the hillside behind his house, which gets a custom waterscape complete with a glass lake that'll enable sticky keys if you dive too deep.
With water. So this is actually 6 layers of glass, and then the light at the bottom here. I just got sticky keys.
But Skiz is also dredging up minigame ideas from the depths of his mind, and once again enlists Tango's help, this time with redstone know-how, which will help him avoid relying on arrows in a target practice minigame that's all about throwing snowballs.
Right, why is that?
Okay, you know, I'm so glad you didn't know automatically. The reason I'm doing it that way is because when you do an arrow, it's gonna do this pulse extender exactly how you want it.
If you are thinking, X, wait, there's a better way to do this. Well, BS.
Vintage Beef also gets to include an MCC training montage in his footage for the week, although the most physically demanding moment is making sure they can all get in perfect formation for their skins to display the letter C.
Just MS Paint this bad boy. It's fine. Okay, Mumbo, slightly to your left.
There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
One more.
For the record, they are the Red Rabbits, a name which does not include the letter C, so we'll have to wait and find out whether their on-server brand outweighs the MC Championship nomenclature.
Mumbo won.
Mumbo won by default.
Before the walls get papered over with the names of various donors, Beef sets up the nether portal to his base area, decorating the tunnel in true 80s fashion, including an 80s-inspired mirrored ceiling that gives his nether side portal a bit of an identity crisis.
This is a big problem I did not foresee. Watch what happens when I go back in. I come out through the top. So I don't know how I'm going to fix that, to be quite honest.
Meanwhile, False Symmetry finds a bee in the nether and also decides to adopt it. I guess it identifies as a wasp.
Blocked in as well. Yes, this is seemingly what I do now.
While the C team is running their man course, False has to put on her mom friend face and go around the general area collecting the allays Ren left out. A surprising number of the allays holding his custom magic books seem to have made it out of the library, but False has to break up the field trip and round them back into the enclosure before the wizard ghosts cause any more trouble. Still, she has her own projects to worry about. It turns out the brownstone in the middle of the shopping district is her brownstone, and she actually demolishes it in favor of a different brownstone design. Neither of the designs are brown. Though the new and improved building is not a stone either, it's made mostly of planks and positively radiating colour. Fittingly, it's a future glow ink shop, though right now it's a dunk court with a brownstone attached to it, and False turns out to be too short to actually dunk.
Please, can I have the ball back, please? A nice throw over the fence and everything.
But as we all know, on the Hermitcraft server, scale is a bit more elastic, and XB Crafted certainly stretches the pale oak door sprites as he resizes them attached to armor stands for a custom door on his latest build.
Although if we got them lined up right, it might be fine, I think.
The Evil Corp HQ also gets a bunch of interior decor, which XB invites Keralis to scrutinize. Naturally, Keralis never met a waxed copper block he didn't want to scrape, but XB Crafted gets back at him by stripping some odd blocks of Keralis' custom trees. We've heard of strip poker, but we're pretty sure this is strip chicken.
Man, come on, don't be a douche. No,
I got it. I already did it. I did it.
We'll have to hear much more than this, mind you, now that Azuma Void has opened a service for porting music to Hermitcraft. The build for it was inspired by another modular LEGO set, and it's impressive how Azuma's one looks absolutely nothing like it. But the store advertises both songs and tunes at the entrance, so it's gotta be good.
And I found a really cool strategy, which was to simply just rummage through my shulker boxes and put a little bit of everything into my inventory. Try and design this all in one go.
If the hermits don't feel like asking Azuma to send them their favorite song as a ringtone, they can also recreate them using the music machine he made right across his beat sequencer. To show you it works, X even programs the Alle meine Entchen song into it, which we're pretty sure means all my little Ents in German. Well, none of his woodmen helped Azuma with his firework rocket factory, randomly not delivering any of the firework rockets to the community nether hub. Turns out one of the many people working on their nether portal rooms dodged a ghast fireball so well that it instead hit the glass pillar, elevating the items to the common area. Truly, no one could expect a ghast in the middle attack. Although no one expected remote access nether travel either, and here's Impulse doing just that.
Please. Yep. Oh. Interesting.
After playing around with manually pearling through his portal, he followed up on community suggestions to keep an ender pearl in stasis by the portal and have it flung through when he was ready to visit the nether. And while a slime block could just punt it through an active portal, with a few wind charges on board, he can skip walking to the main tunnel and just show up there at the press of a button.
Yeah, there's a lot of variability in this, isn't there? All right, well, we got to try one more time. But
having a second nether portal is also worth it just to mess with Skiz.
And the thing about Impulse is that when you sneak up on him, he always assumes you're up to no good. Well, me, and for good reason.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
And frankly, he might have a few wind charges going spare after he decides to completely scrap the decontamination chamber entrance for his silo base. He recently broke the redstone anyway, and he can still build a big vault door inside of this monolithic-looking gateway. While he's in the mood for a style change, he also realizes he's been wearing high-waisted diamond pants in everyone else's videos, so he netherites up a second set of leggings to be identical to his firefighter attire, with the exception of Protection 4 and an item name that Mumbo would be proud of.
I am pants.
All the stuff Mumbo is already proud of are on full display in iJevin's 2-part World Tour extravaganza, in which he refuses to vote for the best music disc while we're watching, can't show Skizzleman's whole base because it's basically all spoilers, and proves that Grian's horrifying explosive chandelier is in fact still there and not exploding.
This thing scares me, dude.
Otherwise, you can see the whole server from here by watching iJevin's videos. Or the recap, now that I think about it. But hey, we gotta find out his opinion of Zedaf somewhere, right?
Zed is a very unique individual.
And finally, there's Mumbo.
After all, who else would wake up at 4 AM to build an automatic sorting system?
Hadn't really anticipated how pants this would look as a time-lapse because obviously everything is taking place in kind of small caves.
While the bulk storage is still in the basement, Mumbo's wall of barrels is now programmed with a filter of over 450 items just so the copper golems know where to put stuff.
I've even got a box for robot buttocks.
And that's why the center of the room is taken up with a copper robot repair workbench, because the city above seems more interested in throwing them into lakes than having them help you with your junk drawers.
Think this part of the build is done. I forgot I was Exuma.
Once again, we probably know the result by now already, but here in the writer's room on Saturday morning, we're still curious whether Mumbo's assessment of the C-Team's MCC chances is accurate.
I think we're going to put on a performance the likes of which the MCC has never seen.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is SloyXP, and my name is Pixelriffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara, and thank you to Merely Adequate for that Mumbo transition. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.